This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Are you looking for the authentic Shadowruns experience? Was the SNES game too loose with the rules, weirdly difficult at parts, but super easy by the very end? Was the Shadowrun game so close to the original that it was like almost difficult to play it? Did you not like the first-person shooter that the Xbox 360 version had, that was multiplayer, online, first-person shooter, and didn't really delve into the concepts of Shadowrun? Well, then this is the game for you. Shadowrun Returns, created by Harebrained Schemes, and published in 2013. This is part of a Kickstarter project that Jordan Weissman, the creator of Shadowrun, or one of the creators of Shadowrun, the tabletop RPG, apparently he wanted to make an authentic game because he felt the other games before that weren't, and especially after the dismal failure of the 2007 version of the game, he was able to convince Microsoft to sell it to his studio, which I think was called like Toy Box or something like that. And then he went to Kickstarter because of some deal with Microsoft. He couldn't go to other publishers for the deal, like within so many years or something like that. So he decided to go to crowdfunding for it, and I, like many other people, put some money to their faces. And I think I put enough money to own all the extra content to the game, which they made 2 expansions of this, Dragonfall and Hong Kong, which are both excellent games. Now the first game and the campaign that comes with this game are okay, but it isn't until the later games that they really kind of, figured out all the rules and mechanics and like story that they want to tell, because the game in this one's pretty straightforward. But there's a reason I'm playing this right after Shadowrun for the SNES, and there's one specific reason, but it might be a while until we get to that, but we'll get to that eventually. So now, if we click new game, it doesn't pop up in the new game. It actually pops in the Dead Man switch. Now, if you have the other games installed, Dragonfall and Hong Kong, it'll have like the characters from that. And we don't get, but the problem with that is you don't get to hear the Shadowrun Returns opening theme. The music that plays. It's actually pretty good soundtrack overall. I like it. The da na no da na no. But anyway. But excuse me, the reason I popped this up is because there's actually multiple, one of the things is this game has, the main game, but one cool thing about this game is that you can find extra content for this game. Now, how do you do that? Well, if you click on more stories, it pulls up the user-generated page here, and what that does is you can go to the Steam workshops or through GOG or whatever and get extra content for this. And for a while, people put out quite a few content. I don't know if people are still making content because obviously the game's like 10 years old by this point. But yeah, you can continue your story if you want to, which I thought was pretty cool. I haven't played any of the stories. I heard there's some pretty good ones that people created for this. But yeah, there's a content creator you can make. Yeah, you can get assets or mod the game to make your own adventure and everything like that, and you can install it from either Steam workshops or whatever, or GOG or other places you could download, which is really cool. And because it's a tabletop game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, you could easily make a ton of adventures in it your own. So if you had like a campaign you ran, you could pop it into this and see how people liked it, which is really cool. But we're not going to play that. So today we're going to play the Dead Man switch here, which is the initial campaign when you buy Shadowrun Returns. So this is the latest version, has all the supports, all the tags you need to search for it and everything. But the Dead Man switch. In the urban sprawl of the Seattle Metroplex, the search for a mysterious killer sets you on a trail that leads from the darkest slums to the city's most powerful megacore. You will need to tread carefully, enlist the aid of other runners, and master powerful forces of technology and magic in order to emerge from the shadows of Seattle unscathed. And yeah, most of the campaigns take place in Seattle because that's where the tabletop RPG was created, based around. But if you obviously play the RPG, you can set it anywhere. It's just Seattle had a lot of market, had a lot of stuff for it, but now you can go anywhere in the world depending on which version you buy. But anyway, let's play Shadowrun Returns and see what Jordan Weissman could create into a video game. Now let's see. I forgot the difficulties. I'll probably play it on normal because it's been forever since I played the hard modes. I'm not really fond of tearing my hair out right now. Yeah, the standard play is normal, and that dictates enemy AI intelligence, HP, stuff like that. So alright, let's play a new game, and we actually get to create our character. So unlike some of the, well, actually in the Sega Genesis version of the game, you could create your own. Well, sort of. You had 3 choices on like what player you could create. You're probably thinking, why didn't I just record that one? It was like, I will eventually. I'm not as familiar with that one, and that one's a bit hard. At least I thought it was hard anyway. But one day I will play that one. But yeah, I can choose male or female. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, exactly. No statistical difference between the two. Let's play the chauvinist here. No. But yeah, like I said, male or female doesn't really matter. Alright, so you can play, and in the Race of Shadowrun, for those who aren't aware or didn't watch my previous playthrough, Shadowrun is a fantasy RPG with sci-fi settings based in the far-flung future, where, you know, the idea of the future based in, like, what people thought the future would be in, like, the 80s/90s. But it's basically, think of fantasy elements like elves and stuff, but in the future, because at some point, humans entered the third... It wasn't the third age, I forgot what it's called now, but at some point, randomly people started transforming into elves and orcs and stuff like that. It was a magical mishap that occurred. I forgot what they call it. I thought they called it the third age or the third wave or something like that. It's been forever since I played the tabletop RPG. But yeah, people just randomly changed into fantasy races, and the world was changed forever. And also, Shadowrun is also run by mega corporations. So instead of standard governments, now it's like, think of a country run by Target. Although in the world of Shadowrun, Japanese corporations have a bit more sway than other companies. So most countries in America are run by, like, you know, Japanese mega corporations, and America is like split into multiple different countries, and like wars occurred and all this other crazy stuff. But anyway, over that. So humans, okay. Humans were the only race on Earth until the Awakening. Okay, it was called the Awakening in 2012. Huh. Too bad they didn't get this game out by 2012. They got it out by like 2013 or something like that. Now they find themselves in the definition of average or even normal. They are still the most populous race in the world, and thus control many of the most powerful, moneyed, and important positions in society. All humans have +3 to karma to start the game. In the SNES version, it was your experience pool. So maximum stats by 9, which is how much damage you can take. Quickness is how reactive you are in combat. Strength is how much physical damage you do, as well as how much you can equip. Charisma affects role-playing encounters, because this has a bit more role-playing encounter than the previous, like in the SNES or Sega Genesis version. So charisma affects dialogue, basically. Intelligence affects your hacking capabilities, like with deckers and stuff like that. And willpower affects your spell casting if you're like a shaman, which I'll go over those in a second. So the next race is elf. Many people, especially other metahuman races, see elves as the most fortunate metahumans. They are more attractive and socially acceptable than the other metahumans. Elves are taller than humans and have a more slender build. Their hair is usually thicker, longer, and more luxurious than average, and the ears come to a point. Well then, technically in fantasy, elves were almost alien in terms of how they were supposed to be like longer, slender, you know, like the way Tolkien kind of described them. But in more recent times, elves have become more like, I guess, a feminine race, where, you know, you think of you know, your Fabios and or your, you know, celebrity type of look, you know, just with pointed ears, you know. But anyway, elves have a +1 to charisma, which means their charisma can get up to a max of 12. Quickness can get up to 11, and everything else is at 9. So they already have a bonus over the humans. Humans just get karma bonuses. So dwarves. Dwarves are the shortest of the metahuman races. To compensate, their torsos and shoulders are wider than their size would indicate. Thus, their strength is equal to, and sometimes greater than, the larger races. A side effect of their metahuman nature is increased resistance to pathogens and magic that attacks from within. All dwarves have +1 to willpower. This means they have a bit higher willpower than normal, and they get body can go up to 11, strength to 12, and willpower 11, everything at 9. Then we got orcs. Orcs are the fastest breeding races and are second only to humans in world population. Their size leads to an intimidating silhouette and a body that can take more physical damage than the average. Orcs have pointed ears and intimidating teeth or tusks. Orcs have a +1 to body. So the body can get to 14, strength to 12, but their charisma intelligence is at 8. So if you want to make a heavy roleplay character or intelligence or a decker, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage, but nothing too nasty. They're mainly designed more for like samurais, which I'll go over classes here in a second. And then finally, the troll. Gotta pay the troll toll. Trolls are the largest metahuman races. Heavy prejudice against them has led people to assume trolls have lower intelligence, but in reality there is no proof to this. Trolls have pointed ears, intimidating teeth or tusks, and many have horn-like growths that other metahumans do not manifest. All trolls have a +1 body and +1 to strength. Maximum body of 17. Yeah, they are definitely the heavy hitters of the races. Quickness of 8, strength 15. Yeah, charisma 6. Yeah, not so much in decking and dialogue stuff. Intelligence is 6 and willpower of 9. So now let's go over the classes you can choose of our quote-unquote archetypes. You can pretty much build, except in a few instances, you could Shadowrun, the RPG was you'd have template or archetypes you could choose, but you could kind of build your character in any way. Usually did want to focus on a very specific type of character to get the most out of your play, but that's up to you as character that you create. Street Samurais. The Street Samurai is a freelance operative who follows a code of street honor. They are learned in the ways of the traditional samurai warrior, and in the practices of modern combat, samurais sell their skills for the profit and work to take out the dishonorable scum that seem to breed in the urban sprawl. Key attributes: body strength or quickness. Key skills: closer range combat, or both, throwing weapons, and dodge. So yeah, if you just want to play this game and you want to make your character the melee guy, you play the Street Samurai. And you can get other characters to compensate for the skills you lack. So don't worry about that. So that means if you choose a certain archetype, that means you might choose certain Shadowrunners over others to help you. Spoilers are going to be people who are going to join your team that'll help you play the game a bit easier. Alright, then we got the Mage. Mages specialize in the casting of spells, but that doesn't mean they can't shoot guns as well. Rather, magic is the center of their life. Their spells reflect a pure balance of manosphere and cover a wide range of magical effects from offensive damage attacks to character augmentation or degradation spells to healing spells. Key attribute: willpower. Key skill: spell casting. So yeah, you play the mages can be designed in multiple ways, so you don't just have the glass cannon. You could do the healer or stuff like that. But I usually like playing glass cannons if I'm playing wizards and games. Anyway, we get the Deckers. Deckers use cyber decks to jack into the matrix, the internet, the worldwide information grid and computer network. By projecting their minds into the electronic world, Deckers can find secrets others keep hidden away. They use programs and expert systems to file the protections that megacorporations place in their way. Key attribute: intelligence. Key skill: decking, and key specialization: expert systems. And there's a game in the original tabletop RPG, decking meant you could do like you were going so fast in decking that during combat you could have like multiple actions, as to everyone else would have maybe like one action, but you as a decker could easily get like 3 to 5 because you're doing crazy things in the Matrix. They do something like that in this game, and I'll go over that whenever we get to battle and stuff like that. But it's a pretty neat concept. I like the way they did it. And we get magic use. Another type of magic use is a shaman. Shamans believe that their magic comes from a great totem spirit that guides their life path. Bear, cat, coyote, eagle, or raccoon. Where's the dog, dang it? We had that in the previous game. Shamans' relationships with their totems allow them to summon spirits and command them to do their bidding. Shamans have the skill to conjure spells that mages cannot. And they can summon spirits, so if you need like a slightly extra ally, shamans can be pretty good. But yeah, they're basically more kind of... So mages deal with like kind of like the, mathematical terms when you view magic, while shamans deal with more nature side of it, if that makes sense. Key attribute: charisma. Key skills: spirit summoning. Increasing this skill grants a shaman a totem benefit, and conjuring. So we've also got the rigger, a form of the decker. Riggers use cybertech to jack their minds into and control small robot-like vehicles called drones. Riggers use their rigging abilities to provide surveillance, support, and extra firepower when required. So they basically they can also get you another unit outside of the shaman, but it's more mechanical in this case. So key attribute: intelligence. Key skill: drone and control, and key specialization: drone combat. And then you have the nun. But physical adept. Adepts are magical active characters who focus their mind eternally to develop to their utmost potential, physically, mentally, and spiritually. As adepts unlock new abilities, they become honed physical machines, using their magic to enhance their close combat abilities. Key attributes: body strength and willpower. Key skill: casting. And then you can choose set none. If you feel comfortable with the way characters are built in Shadowrun, you may create your own character by mixing skills and attributes as you wish. So this is if you want to mix and match, like make a fighter that has decking capabilities and stuff like that. That's up to you if you want to play, but I prefer choosing an archetype in this one. So let's see, what do we want to play today? Last time I played this game, I played as the Mage, and then when I played it again later on, I played as a Decker. So let's play something a bit differently. Let's make someone beefy this time. So, well, let's go with which means I'm not gonna have much of an effect when it comes to charisma, when it comes to certain dialogue choices, whatever. So, let's go with the Troll Toll, baby. Troll Toll, Street Samurai. Actually, I was thinking either Street Samurai or maybe the Physical Adept. That might be something that's slightly different. That would be interesting to make a troll, but see, the only bad thing is his willpower. Well, that's 9. That's still good. Let's see. Body and strength. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I was going to play a Street Samurai. Let's make a Physical Adept, actually. I like that. Let's see. Hairstyle. You can customize our character a little bit, I think. Oh, let me customize it. Yeah, hairstyle doesn't really change too much. Oh no, this is our color of our character. What do we want to go? Too bad they don't have, oh, I was about to say, I wonder if they have green. Sorta, they've got more brown. Let's go with like a reddish troll, like an Oni or something like that. Yeah, let's go Oni. Yeah, actually, in the later versions of Shadowrun, you could actually play like variations too. You still had the same races, but you'd have variations or mutations. Like the troll could have like Oni and stuff like that. Orc could have like Goblin. I forgot what the other variations for like elves and humans were, but that's one of the things. So, all right, hairstyle. I think all that changes by. Oh yeah, give me dreads. Give me an emo cut. Spikes. Anime protagonist. Actually, crew cut. Ooh, that I'd do that if you wanted to go shaman. You know, go with the crazy dreads, man. Yeah, let's go with the dread, dude. Let's see, is there a black? Do you want to do red? Make it kind of color coded, or blue? Be a little bit. Oh, there we go, red. Yeah, like that. How about a beard? Let's see. Ooh, Fu Manchu. Oh, the chest. Do we have the chest area Arthur? Oh yeah, I gotta go chest area Arthur. Let's see. Let's go with black. I mean, you hardly see your character anyway, but let's see, horns. That one's kind of like a weird minotaur look. You know, multiple spikes there. Got the single horn. Got the ram horns. Throwing up the horns, baby. Let's go. Ooh, super spikes, huh? Let's go, Ashley. Where? I kind of like that messed up one where they go in weird directions. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's see. Spend my karma. Karma represents the experience characters earn while running the shadows and achieving goals. Karma is used to improve athletics and skills. An attribute or skill rating can be increased by spending karma equal to the next increment of that rating. Same thing as in the SNES version, for those who watch that. Thus, improving your body from 4 to 5 requires you to spend 5 karma points. So in the previous, in Shadowrun the SNES, they did where you had to spend whatever the cost of the next, what the level was. So if you were at 4, you spend 4 to get to 5. So it's a little bit different in this version, but not by much. You have to spend some karma now to create your character. Let me go back really quick. Hold on. You can actually choose your. I almost forgot to choose the portrait. So you could just do like general shadow. You could have whatever you want, and then you could choose one. You can actually. I think, if I believe so, I'm not sure if it's in this case, but some people who donated to this have their character portraits in the game as random NPCs. I think these are just general dudes, but you could also upload portraits too if you wanted to, with the creative function or stuff like that, which I thought was kind of cool. Do we have anything that really looks like me really here? I mean, they have a lot of options, but not really. Could go with one of these versions of the dude right here with the pipe. Yeah, we'll choose that one. Okay, choose stats. Okay, so body's already pretty. See, we got 5 available karma. So I think I was wanting to do melee with this guy, which means I have to be. Let's see, dodge. How many times am I going to hit with physical attacks though? Might want to range my quickness. Let's see, close combat. Yeah, close combat would need to be raised. Melee weapons, unarmed. Oh yeah, unarmed. We would want to do that too. Well, actually, it depends on if I'm just going to do pure unarmed or if I'm going to use like a weapon or something like that. I might do unarmed. Make myself more like a monk instead of that. Yeah, let's unlock unarmed. So increase my damage by 1. And then critical percentages go up. No. Oh, that's right. Okay, so in this, the way you spend karma, there's a main stat and then there's substats. So each stat has like certain variables to them. Like body's pretty much straightforward. It says here determines resistance to physical damage, increased chances to take reduced damage from attacks. For every point of body, hit points increased by 10. Which they did that in the SNES version as well. Quickness, use to calculate the chance to hit in ranged combat, reduces the chance to be hit by enemies' physical attacks. So the way that the main stat works and the side stat works is that, so to be able to improve like something to a certain level, you need to spend karma. But if your main stat or the next stat above is not at a certain point, you can't build it up, which makes sense. That if your body can't handle it, you can't learn that skill past that. So you need to remember to look at your main stat as well as your substat. That's why in this case, my strength is 4, so I could get stuff up to 4, but because of close combat, having melee and unarmed, I need to have my combat up to, like, if I wanted to beef it up to like stuff to 3, I need my close combat to be 3. So you have to pay attention to both there, and that's with most of these weapons. But anyway, let's see. So we have quickness, did that. Ranged combat, main component used to calculate the damage to hits with ranged weapons. So if you're playing you could do the physical adept with ranged combat. It's just that when you choose the archetype, it puts the points, most of your points in the stats you believe will be more useful to you at the beginning. And then with ranged combat, you can use pistol, which, same thing, increases your ability to hit and do damage with a pistol, and you unlock special abilities with that. SMG, shotgun, rifle, and then dodge, which helps you reduce, which would be a good one to use as well. Helps you to reduce the chance to get hit by physical attacks. Strength, used to calculate the chance to hit with melee or thrown weapons, also determine how far a grenade can be thrown. We can actually use grenades in this game, unlike in the previous game, which you could, but a lot of people were immune to it. So, anyway, we got close combat, which use, melee or unarmed combat, melee combat, or which is swords and stuff like that. Unarmed, fists. Throwing weapons, which are like grenades. Intelligence, used in decking or rigging to calculate the chance to hit with a computer program or drone. Also used to reduce the chance to be hit by enemies using the programs in the Matrix. So if you're going to do a decker, way to go. Biotech grants a bonus to hit points recovered when using medikit. You might actually want to put at least a point in this just to get a little bit of HP back when you're using a medikit. You don't have to, but it makes it a little bit nicer. So I usually, at one point, want to put at least a point into biotech. Decking, required for decking, main component to calculate the chance to hit enemies in computer programs or deckers. So, ESP control allows you the power of the decker's expert systems to programs in the Matrix. So, since I'm not playing a decker, we wanted to worry about that too much. Well, we will to an extent because we'll have Shadowrunners to help with that. Drone control allows the riggers access to more different drones. Drone combat adds abilities and bonuses to the rigger's drone. I almost thought about playing a rigger, but we can get people that can do that too. Willpower, used to calculate the chance to hit them with magical attacks, and also used to reduce the chance to be hit by enemies with magical attacks. You can use spell casting, which increases your chance to hit with spells. Chi casting, which chance to hit with adept power. So we want to definitely build this up too, because willpower will be something I'll have to build up eventually. Charisma, used to calculate the chance to control spirits, increases the chance to hit with conjuring spells. Spirit summoning allows you to summon spirits. The more higher the level, the better with the spirit. Spirit control allows you the chance to maintain control of the spirit for long. Yeah, the problem with spirits in this game is there's a chance for them to go haywire depending on your level, and they'll attack you for so many turns, so be careful about that. Conjuring, main component to calculate the chance to hit with conjuring spells. So, let's see. So we got at least unarmed up to 1 point. That'll be fine. Let's do chi casting up 1 too. So can equip magical resistance 1 and increase spellbook slot if not yet unlocked. So okay, we'll go to confirm. All right. Many runners on the street use street names, handle or working names, names like Halfjack or Lady Z, and I believe those are actually characters in the canon of the tabletop RPG. Others stick with their given name or adopt a nickname. Please choose a name for your character. Let's see, we're doing a physical adept, so we could do like an homage, like Ryu or Guile or something like that, like a Street Fighter thing. Let's call ourselves Oni Fist. Oni Fist. Oops. It was almost Oni First or something like that. Yeah, let's call ourselves Oni Fist. That sounds fun. Down and out. Your apartment, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's got 4 walls, a roof, and is on fire. Even the cockroaches have fled in search of better accommodations. Not exactly a runner's dream pad, but right now it's about all you have left. Running the Shadows is all about feast or famine. One day you're Nova Shot, working jobs that allow you to eat at a 5-star restaurant. The next, well, you're here. This one's a famine for the ages. Slagging Fixer hasn't called. The money's run out, and then some. Sinless and free to starve in the cracks of society run by megacorps who just want your union. Something needs to change, and soon. Sinless is, in the world of Shadowrun, most people have sign numbers or like codes attached to them so they can track them and everything like that. You know, when you work for a corporation, get paid and stuff like that. Shadowrunners find a way to become themselves without numbers on themselves to become sinless, which means they have to earn money in other ways from the shadows, from crud sticks and stuff like that. So it's a little bit tougher to do it, but if you're a good Shadowrunner, you can make money, but you usually have to do Shadowrunning until you either live to old age, which is rare, or you die, so, or you join the Megacorps after a certain point, but your apartment, 2054. It's 3 a.m. and we've got nowhere to go but down. Alright, let's take a look at some of the stuff we can interact with. Your computer, state of the art in 2050, broken since 2051. Well, most computers are usually worthless after a certain point, so. Alright, and anytime you click on a little exclamation point, that tells you something you can check on. So, your notebook, calendar, contacts, and that kind of thing. Your contacts. This list is sad and dried up. Carter Detroit, fixer, no response to messages. Dowd, runner, dead. Felton Nash, fixer, missing since February. New Larry, runner, dead. Sam Watts, runner, question mark, probably in the gutter somewhere. Sangoma, runner, dead. Halfjack, dealer, retired or dead. Yeah. I wonder if the game says anything if you actually call yourself Halfjack. I don't know. It's been forever since I've messed with the naming stuff. List goes on. All either dead ends or just plain dead. View your personal calendar. It's empty. Nothing to do. Put down your notebook. Okay, I believe... I'll have to double check the... let's see. Oh yeah, we can save our... Okay, this is the menu up here, by the way. So if you click this the power button, you can look at the... So you can click this, which is your objectives, get a job, any job, answer your vid phone, and then you got mission items, which we don't need. And we already read this part from before. Here's our character. Oni Fist, and this is all our stats here for easy to use reference. And this is how you spend karma when we get enough karma. These are our weapons of the game. Right now we got a Fischetti Security 500, damage 6, range medium, Kappa 12. Low grade pistol carried mostly by guards. We got ourselves a Secure Adept clothing, which gives us an armor of 1. Basic clothing for the Shadowrunning Adept. We got the Fichette, we got a machete for melee combat. Basically a sharp piece of metal with a handle. May do AP damage on a critical hit. AP is like how many action points, how many actions you have during a turn. Got the spell of Killing Hands. Passive, unarmed damage increased by 4. Active unarmed damage increased by a further 6 for 4 rounds. Very nice. We also got a grenade. A Fischetti Concussion Grenade. Does 0 damage, has an area of effect by 2. Fischetti's basic non-lethal grenade. It does -1 AP to everyone hit by its blast. So depending on the enemy, that could be a big deal. Basic medkit, HP of 10, and then more if you have the bio ability. And then we got the Dock Wagon Basic Trauma Kit. Now what Dock Wagon is one of many organizations. So in the future, instead of just going to a regular hospital, Shadowrunners will hire private hospital firms, like Dock Wagon is the most famous one, to come and save you during a bad mission. So depending on how good your package you buy or account you buy with them, depends on how much effort the Dock Wagon will go to save you. If it's a basic one, they'll usually wait till everything's died down, like after you've escaped or something like that. And then there's like gold, there's like bronze, silver, gold, I think, and platinum. I could be wrong, but the highest one is where they'll actually go in with soldiers to save your ass if you've got enough money. So usually the best Shadowrunners have platinum packages and stuff like that. But in this game, you use it to revive yourself automatically. So Dock Wagon, quote unquote, comes in off screen and heals you during combat. So in this, it restores a teammate to life with 25% of their total health consumed when used. So, and we got no cyberware, and I won't be using cyberware on this guy. You can also go over the basics. I'll go over that later. We've already done too much of that in this episode, so I don't want to slow it down more than we already have. I want to at least get some story plot before we call it an episode. So, what's up? A slip of paper with your bank balance, enough to cover you enough for the end of the week. And we got ourselves a nice, classy lady photo right there. So, oh yeah, and you can, if you want to look at your character or look closer, you can use if you're using the mouse button, you can use the mouse wheel to scroll up and down, and then the left button clicks, and right button, nothing for now anyway. And then obviously you can interact via this. But anyway, let's look at our vid phone here. Oh, we got a dragon there. Nice. Reference to the previous game? No, there's always been dragons in Shadowrun. So, Sam Watts. The screen leaps to life, making a squint against its brightness. The face on the screen is laughing. Sam Watts. Hey, buddy. Oh, well, didn't catch you at a bad time. He giggles. He's drunk. Or worse. And then you have dialogue boxes. Sometimes that'll affect things, and sometimes it's just for flavor of your character. Should I give you my com code, Gonk? Your zone? Where have you been, Sam? I haven't heard you for months. Let's do the top one. Should I give you the com code, Gonk? Another giggle. Oh, don't bother, we saw the conversation. I'm not really here. Just one reason for this vid. Someone finally geeked me. I'm dead. I probably had it coming. When you're an unsavory character like myself, you tend to associate with other unsavory characters who often partake in an unsavory business like you, for example. So why am I dead? Who knows? Probably my fault. I wonder where you are right now. I bet you hit a big payday and you're living high on the hog somewhere. Then we hear like flies buzzing off in the distance. Some of us are born winners, some of us are. Hey, you remember that Renraku run when things went to hell and we lost Dowd? Or that makeshift saloon on the docks afterwards? Really had you back that night, didn't I? Dowd, that's a name you haven't heard in a long time. 3 years ago, a makeshift bar in the Seattle docks, the night Dowd went down. But what did go down on the night Dowd went down? How does it lead to what happened to Sam Watts? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Returns. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.